All right, welcome in, everybody, here on a Tuesday evening. Back to our live streams. I figure I'd sneak one in today and possibly even Sunday morning for our coffee and craps. So today I figure we play some crapless, talk about shooting positions, have a little bit of fun, and see how everybody's holidays have been. So today, let me get. I am in the group link. Let me double check here. Yep. I'm in the groups and I have a table where I am listed Bob Casey Craps. You'll find it in the groups. All you have to do is just jump in and join in, and you're able to join along and play along with us here on a Tuesday evening. So we're going to go crapless. I'm giving everybody $1,500 to start with tonight. And basically, that's the only buy in you get. So the objective tonight is to see how well everybody can do on a single bankroll. 1,500 is what we've got to start. I've got the new positioning of the camera. I've put it on the O on the come line. I have found that it actually looks pretty good right there, and you are able to see it pretty clear. So we're going to go ahead and start off. Remember Crapsy. If you've got the Crapsy app downloaded, I've got the live tab set up. Got a room set up in there. We're going to play Crapless. You've got a $1,500 buy in and only one buy-in. So, bankroll management will be important tonight. And so I'm going to go ahead and start. It is a $15 minimum table. That's pretty much what we'll see here most of the time here in Kansas City. No table code. Is it under live then? Yes, it is under live. Thank you, Skill. It's under the live tab. Don't need a code to join in. And yeah, hop on in. $1,500 buy in. And so let's get started. $15 minimum table. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go 555 on the bonuses, 15 on the pass line. That'll cover that in case this, big seven comes out and here on the come out. So I'll give you guys a second to get that started. We'll do some live throws. And yeah, I'm actually shooting from a new position. As you can see, I'm actually shooting from stick left one. I've been shooting here the past couple of days. My neck was hurting and figured, hey, why not just move to a different position and see if that works. All right, so we've got a 6262. That's our dice set for this come out. Here is our first roll. We'll start with an AC doozy. That's the thing I like about crapless craps, is that you're not going to get penalized for a craps number coming out on the come out. All right, so here we go. And get it right there in the O so you guys can see. Hey, how about that? Looks good. I don't see it under live. Okay. Well, oh, I apologize. It's under group skill. It's under group. If we need to get a table code out, I do have it. Q7Y3K7. Q7Y3K7. I can pop that in the chat if you need it. But I think you should be able to join in with it like it is. If you can't get in, let me know, skill. I'll get the code put in. All right, let's grab some dice. 1, 2, 3. That is our point. Let me go ahead and flip my puck over just so we've got some visual representation here on the video itself. And we've got the 3. So I'll mark that. There we go. All right, I'm going to switch to a 3-5-3-1. Let me get my money set. So I'm going with a quarter on the 3, 6, 8. Of course, those will obviously be 30 and the yo. And I'm going to buy it on this 3 and the yo. And then I am going to go with $50 on the pass line odds. If it's under group, then a table code. Okay, let me get you the table code again. I'll put that in. I can't use that phone because I'm using it. Okay. It is here. I'm going to send it to you. And if you would not mind putting it in chat for me, skill. All right. I'm going to send it to you in Discord. It is Q7Y3X7. QY7. Oh, no, it is Q7Y3. Yep. X7. That's it. Q7Y3X7. Yep. I just typed it out and sent it to you, Skill. I'll wait just a second before I hop on the next roll. I want to make sure I got that in there. Q7Y3XT. Yep. All right. I'm going to go ahead and jump back in the room. Let's see here. I'm only one in there. I'm giving you just a second, Skill, to jump in. Yep, Q7Y3X7. That's it. Yay, we're in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and now move forward. Here we go. All right, so our point is 3. I've got, I'm putting a quarter on the 3, 6, 8, and yo. And of course, the 6 and 8 are at 30. And I'm going 50 on the pass line odds with 15 on the pass. Here we go. I'm going to go 3, 5, 3, 1 and see how we do. Here comes our next roll. There's aces in both places. We miss out on that, but I'm okay with that. Were you able to get in, Skill? I'm hoping that you did. And that is aces in both places. So we'll mark it there and we'll hop in. All right. Same die set 3, 5, 3, 1. If I change it, I'll let you guys know. Here comes our next toss. Wow. Aces again. Holy smokeroonies. Good. I'm glad you got in. Back to back aces. So I've thrown ace deuce, aces, and then aces again. Well, too bad I didn't have any money on aces. That's okay. All right. I'll let you guys get your money up. Holy smokes. There's no way I can throw that 3 times in a row, is there? All right. Here we go. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next shot. Our next throw, I should say. 2, 3, 5. Awesome. 2, 3, and 5. Okay. Nothing on it. We're okay with that. I'm only got 4 numbers I'm betting so far. I'm sure I have to drop out for the moment. Wife is pulling a honeydew thing. Oh, have fun with the honeydew. All right, we'll be here. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next toss. 2, 4, 6. All right, awesome. That was a nice throw. That's one of the 4 numbers that I'm targeting. A 2, 4, 6. Boop. All right. So that gets me 35. So I'm going to take my 6 up to 60. Let's go move some dice. Mark my 6 up here. There is my 2, 4, 6. Slide it over. Let's have another throw. I like it when I hit the number I'm actually trying to target. Okay, here we go. Dice out. Staying with the 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next toss. 4, 1, 5. Horse and buggy. That's a couple times now we've hit that 5. We're not gonna stick a whole bunch of money out there because right now I'm just focusing on my 3, 6, 8, and yo here on Crapsy. All right. Here we go. Dice have moved. Dice are out. Next toss. A 639. So we're working on the talls now. Mark that 9. Take our dice. Let's show them off here real quick to the camera. 6-3, Neener. Slide down. Let's have another throw. Okay. I'm not going to increase my bets. I want to keep them where they're at currently. Let's take our next throw. Dice are out. I'm staying with that 3-5-3-1. Here's our next toss. That's a 2-4-6. Nice. That's a repeater. So I'm going to take that 6. Let's see here. I'm going to take it up to 90. Actually, I'm going to take that up to, I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 120. Okay. So currently I've got 25 on the 3 and yo, 30 on the 8, and 120 on the 6. Speaking of my 6, there it is. A 2-4 is what we rolled on that last roll. Move the dice. Okay. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Get set up for our next roll here. 3-5-3-1. The point is a 3. That's a 6-4-10. Big Ben down on the end. Okay. We're spraying a little bit, but we've been hitting that repeater 6. I've hit that 3 times now. So we are okay with a 10 popping out. There's our 6-4-10. I'm also going to go ahead and put chips here on the table so that you guys can see it on the TV or your phone or whatever you're maybe watching it on, your iPad even. Okay, so there's 100. Whoops. And 20. Okay. Oh, why am I doing that? Grab our dice. Let's slide them down. That way you guys got visual representation on your screen. Hey, Lee, what's going on? Welcome to join us in Crapsy. If you need the code, if I don't know if you'll be able to see skill, he put it in Q7Y3X7. Please feel free to join us in Crapsy. We're doing crapless craps tonight. $1,500 buy-in, but the challenge is you only get one buy-in. So if you'd like to join us, please do so and play along. Here we go. We are currently on the come out. So I'm going to go to a 6-2-6-2 dice set. Dice are moving and dice are out. Here's our next toss. That's a 6-3-9. Neener. We had the 9 already, but that sets us at a new point. Oh, I forgot to move my puck off the table. All right, there we go. We're on a 9 now. That's what threw me off. I was like, are we on the come out or not? We were. There's my 6-3. I would, but just stepping out. Oh, okay. No problem. Lee, thanks for popping in and saying hello. Appreciate you joining us. All right, here we go. Dice from let's see. I'm on with the 0.9. I'm gonna go 3-5-3-1. All right, dice are moving and dice are out. Here we go. That's a 314. I don't have anything on it, but look what it does give us. It gives us the smalls. So we got the smalls taken care of. 314. And I had 5 on the smalls. So that's a nice little hit for me. How much did I make on that? I made, oh yeah, 150. So I just made 150 on that 4. That's nice. So I'm out of the hand now because I hit the smalls. That's nice. All right, 3531. I would love to see a 6 or a 9 right here. That's a 639. Awesome. Hey, look at that. So we've got 2 points now. So let's move the puck. We'll turn it off since we hit our point. It was a 639. I need to put that in. Crapsy. Almost forgot to put that in. 639. There we go. All right, so that gets our point. This never took the point off on the 3. I'm going to go ahead and mark this 3. I apologize. I don't know why it didn't take it, but it did. Okay, never mind. I see what's going on. The point is 3 still. I forgot because I had hit the bonus, and so I thought that was my point. I apologize. All right, still looking for the point. 3531. The point is 3. We've got 50 on the pass line odds. Let's get an AC doozy right here. Box cars. Well, I mean, we can't go wrong with box cars other than the fact that I didn't have anything on it. All right, I need to put that 3 back. That's our point right now. Grab our dice. Let's show off those box cars. Boop. Okay, I'll give you guys just a second. So it looks like we need an 8 and a yo to hit the all. Maybe we can get that. Those are both within our acceptable dice selections, shooting a 3531. Let's see if we can't knock one of those right here. An 8 or an yo. Or we'll take a 3. Or a 6. Or a yo. There we go. 6-5 yo. That's nice. So let's mark that yo. Now that paid me 75 for that because I had a quarter on it. So since I got out of the hand with the bonus to the smalls, I'm just going to go ahead and put all 75 now on the yo. And that's what I'm going to do. So I currently have 75 on my yo, 30 on my 8, 120 on the 6, and 25 on the 3, 15 on the pass line with 50 on the pass line odds. 3531. Let's tag that 8 right here and go ahead and just take care of the all. 3-4. Oh, I was 1 stinking digit off. Good roll. That's a good roll regardless. Oh, and I was doing it up here at the same time. That's where I got thrown off. I was moving stuff around in 2 places. Still, decent roll. I'm gonna stop doing the chips. It was too much back and forth. So, yeah. But I will continue to move the button so you guys got a visual at home. All right, slide our dice down. We'll get some fresh dice. If y'all want to, that sounds good, Lee. If you want to join us when you come back. All right, so made a total of $14 on that first roll. It's okay. It's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get 5 dice here. We'll shake them all out on the table. I see 2 1s. I'll take that. And then on my board here, I'm gonna put 25 on the pass sign. I'm gonna go 5, 10, 5 on the bonus. Then I'm gonna go 50 on the 3, the 6, the 8, and the yo. And of course, the 6 and 8 will be 60. I'm not working the come out. And I'm also going to put 5 on the hard 6 and the hard 8. Those won't be working. 25 on the pass sign. Dice are out. And let's see if we can't get a good start. 6262 on the come out. Here is our roll. That's a 549 to start. Okay. So I'm not going to put any pass line odds. The only time I will put pass line odds for me personally when I'm doing this strategy is when I have one of those 4 numbers, which is the 3, the 6, the 8, and the yo. If I'm not doing one of those 4 numbers, I will more than likely just pass on putting any odds on the bet. Okay, here we go. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Going with a 3-5-3-1. And let's see if we can't hit one of our 4 numbers. Here's our toss. A 3-5-8. We needed that the last roll, didn't we? All right, so that's going to pay 70. Why did that pay me 65? Oh, because I had a hard 8. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and take it up to 120. I forgot I put 5 on the hard 8 and hard 6. I'm just going to continue to put $5 on the hard 8 and 6, especially with this dice set. I will throw those not frequently, but they do pop up. So if I can get a strand of like 2 or 3 of them in a row, we're good to go. Then we can really start making some profit. All right, here we go. 3-5-3-1. We're going to stay with that dice set. Here's our next toss. And that's a 6-1. We're done. Wow, that was a real short roll. So the previous roll, we went 14 to start and got a 5 roller that time. Okay. I mean, anybody that's played craps knows that's going to happen. I think it's because we changed our dice. I liked that other pair of dice, and now that happens. All right, let me get a drink here. If you guys are, as you are coming in, want to, we are playing on the Crapsy app. I've got a code for you. It is Q7Y3XT. Q7Y3XT. We're playing Crapless Craps with a $1,500 buy-in. I'm only allowing 1 buy. So we're focusing on money management tonight and seeing if we can't spin this up like we went to the casino. You get 1 shot. All right, here we go. I'm going to go on the pass line 25, 5, 10, 5 on the bonuses again. And I'm going to go with, I'm going to go quarters 3 through 11. Place, buy. Add quarters to the 6 and 8. Put a nickel on the hard 6, hard 8. Turn all my bets off. I am not working the come out. And 25 on the pass. Here we go. 6262 is what my dice set will be. Here comes our come out roll. We get a 314 to start. Okay, that's a good number. 314. There it is. So now what I will do is I'm going to put a nickel on the hard 4 and the hard 10. Just add that to my 6 and 8. My point is a 4, so I'm going to go with 50 on the pass line odds. Dice are moving, dice are out. I'm going to target 4s and 10s, so that's a 3-5-1-5 now. Here's our first throw. Aces in both places. The one of the two numbers I did not have covered. Of course, that's how it works, right? Oh well, that happens. It would have been nice to hit that to start, but c'est la vie. Whatever will be, will be. All right, get your bets in. Dice are moving, and dice are out. 3-5-3. Excuse me, 3-5-1-5. Looking for a 4. Here's our toss. That's a 6-2-8. That's double what we need, but we'll still take it. That pays us 30 because I lost 5 on the hard 8, but I'll make my 8 60 now. Let me mark my 8 here on the board. Grab our dice. Oh, I forgot to put my point as a 4 up here on the board. There we go. Still looking for a 4. 3-5-1-5. Here's our next toss. Hard 10. There we go. That's the opposite side. So I'm just going to put all 75 right there on the 10. That was a nice, nice throw. That is exactly what we wanted to see. One of the numbers we wanted to see coming out of that throw. There's our 5-5 hard 10. Three, 5, 1, 5. Okay, here we go. Dice are moving, dice are out. Here comes our next toss. Looking for a 4. How about a yo? A 5-6 yo? That's pretty. So I'm just going to put all 75 or make that 100 now since that paid me 75. Let me cover up my yo here on my board. There is the yo. All right, here we go. We want a 4. Dice are moving, dice are out. 3-5-1-5 is the dice set I'm going with. Here's our next toss. That's a 2-3-5. We're just spraying and praying. So that pays me 35. I'm going to go ahead and kick my 5 up to 50. Cover the 5 there. There's the 2-3 for you to see at home. All right, here we go. Dice are moving. So far, things are looking pretty. Got my 3-5-1-5. Yes, come on. Let's get a 4 right here. Come on, let's get a 4. Ah, there's a 3-4. Dang it. We were right there. Right there. Oh, so close. All right. Let's open the board back up. It's a little bit tighter when you're actually trying to manage your money here on Crapsy. You know, I get to playing on Crapsy on some of the other LFCs or with Alfredo or with some other people, and I try to go kind of, conservative and play like I would at the casino, but by the end of the night, I'm just, going crazy with it. All right, so let's be a little more cautious. We're gonna go 555 on the bonus, 15 on the pass line. You know what? Actually, I'm not even gonna play the bonus. I'm just gonna go straight with the. Let's go with the 368 yo again. I'm gonna go quarters buy, and then of course the 6 and 8 I'll put at 30. I'm not gonna do the hard ways. I'm not gonna do any of the center prop bets. 15 on the pass, those four numbers, 110 on those four. So I'm in for a total of 125. All right, let's get some fresh dice. Wow, four of the five dice were came up six. The other one was a five. That was crazy. All right, there's two fours. We'll go with that. 6262. Let's have a throw. Come out roll is a 560. We'll take that. That's exactly what we want. Now, because I've got that, I'm going to put $50 on the pass line odds. The point is 11. So let's mark the yo there, the yo there. Whoops. And grab our dice. 5, 6 yo. Here we go. Let's just buckshot that right back. I would be okay with that. Buckshot that point on a 3-1. Heck yeah. All right. 351. Excuse me. 3531. That's the dice that we're using. Dice are out. Here we go. Box cars. Okay. We've got one of the two really hard ones to get. That's a nice start. There's your box cars. All right, let's take our dice. Let's throw again. Dice are out. Dice are moving. Dice are out. 3, 5, 3, 1. Let's hit that yo right back. That's a 2, 3, 5. Natural. Okay, we'll take that 5. Mark it. Not too bad right now. There is our 2, 3. Now let's see if we can't get that yo. Or even a 3. You know, I'd be completely content with a 3 right here. I got a quarter on it. All right, dice are moving. Dice are out. Here comes our next toss. We get aces. Wow, the other side. Okay, things are getting interesting. Of course, we didn't play it this time, but I mean, we've been taking a little bit of a hammering on it, so we decided to get off of the center bets, and this is what's going to happen, right? All right, here we go. Get your bets in. I'm going to stay with that 3, 5, 3, 1. Dice are moving. Dice are out. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next toss. 6, 1. They double kissed. Oh, that really bites. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. It's going to happen. As much as I hate to admit to it, it's going to happen. Get this reset. Slide our dice down. There we go. All right. Let's get our table set here. I've been just kind of pushing a little bit by a little bit. I'm gonna go all the way down to table min. 3, yo, 6 and 8. I'm gonna have my bets on this time. Not gonna play any center bets. All right, dice are moving. Dice are out. Gonna see if we can't work the come out. Now we're only playing really minute. We're playing table min, but let's see if we can't get some action here to start with. We get a 358. Perfect. That worked out in our benefit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take that up to 30. And leave it right there. Let's cover our 8 here. The point is 8. There is our 8. And we'll take our dice and slide down. All right. Looking for roll number 1. Actually, roll number 2. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Let's get that 8 right back. Here comes our toss. We got a 549 right next door. We'll take that. Let's cover the 9. Grab our dice. Oh, yeah. I want to make sure I show that to you guys. There's the 549. I'm trying to remember to show the dice after every roll. Not that I'm bad at it, but I'm bad at it. All right, dice moving, dice are out. Let's look for that point of an 8. Here comes our toss. A 549 again, a different version of it. So I didn't have anything on it, but that's okay. I'm willing to be patient. There's my 5-4. Take it over and throw again. All right, dice are moving, dice are out. We want an 8. Here comes our next toss. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Nope, Cinco Dos. Wow. We can't even string together a couple of hits. We had a good first roll, but ever since then, it's been kind of blah. I think I'm going to switch positions and I'm going to go straight on. I'm not going to shoot from stick left 1 anymore. I'm going to go straight on. Maybe that's what I need to do. Throw from a different position. All righty. Let's get our bets ready. Okay. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Let's get a good throw in here. See what we get. There is a 6-2-8 to start. That is perfect for us. So I'll just leave it right there. There's our 6-2. And we'll throw again. Point is 8. Let's see if we can't buckshot it or whatever we want to do. Okay, dice are moving, dice are out. Looking for an 8. Here's our next toss. A 3-4. Holy cow, I can't even catch a break from that angle. Wow, we're running dangerously low. Dangerously low. I'm going to go back to table min. I was hoping that that would work out for me right there. 3, 6, 8. Yo. Turn our bets off. All right, let's go again. I got my dice here. I'm not changing them. I want to keep the same dice. I know that they'll work for me. 6262 come out. We get aces in both places. That's a good sign. And I say that's a good sign because throwing with a hard six and I get a hard two, I like that. Good rotation. All right. So I'm going to stick with my plan of those four numbers. And let's see if we can't hit it. There is. Hey, there we go. Ace, deuce. Oh, thank goodness. So we've hit two of our numbers in two rolls. I like it. There's our ace, deuce. Everybody go ahead. Oh, I need to mark it in crapsy. I'm sorry. Ace, deuce. So that paid me 60. I'm going to go ahead and make it 50. I had 20 on it. Okay. All right. Let's move some dice. Let's throw again. Okay. 3531. That's what I'm going to use. Here comes our next toss. A 628. We'll take that. I knew I should have pumped that up when we hit that point or when we hit that earlier. I'm sorry. But we'll take it nonetheless. I forgot my point is actually 2. There we go. Now we're whole. All right. I'm going to push my 8 up a little bit. I'm going to make it 30. There we are. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Let's get another hit here. Here's our next toss. We get, hey, box cars. We'll take it. You know, I didn't have the number, but it's always good for the people playing the bonus. Even though I'm not playing it this time, I still like hitting it because now I've got the two hardest numbers already squared away. 4 rolls in, 2 hard extremes done. Actually, we've hit 3 of the 4 extremes, to be honest with you. All right, dice moving, dice out. Let's get another number. Our next toss. That's a 516. That's another hit for us. I'm going to go ahead and jump my 6 up to 30 now. There we go. So far, we're just kind of all over the place, but we are getting numbers. So we're not going to argue too much. All right, I'm ready to roll again. Got the dice down here with me. Dice are moving, dice are out. Staying with the 3531. We would love to hit a 3 or a yo. Really love to hit a 3. It's our best number right now. 235. Still kind of feeling things out, but we are one away from the smalls. I'll say it because I'm not on it. It does, you know, even if I am on the ATS, some people get fussed by that when you talk about the bonus, when you're on the bonus. It never bothers me personally. All right, dice are moving, dice are out. Let's get a 3. Our next toss. 516. Okay, that pays. I'm going to go ahead and jump it up to 60. Perfect. There's my 5-1. I don't know what it is about those two different spots. It's like when I go to stick man left or stick left 1, I'll shoot okay for a little while and then it falls apart on me. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or if it's just I don't know. I don't know. All right. Dice are moving, dice are out. I guess I just feel more comfortable straight on. Here's our next toss. That's a 516. I had 60 on that. I'm gonna go ahead and take it up to 90. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go 160 across on the inside, the 4 through 10. Yep, perfect. Let's grab our dice. There's my 516. Dice are moving. Dice are out, ladies and gents. Here we go. I've regressed, so I'm out of the hand. Next toss. That's a 628. Awesome. I'm just going to jump my 8 straight up to 60. I already had the 8. So I need currently a 4, 9, 10, and a yo. But if I'm going to keep pounding these inside numbers, and yeah, I'm fine with that. All right, 3, 5, 3, 1. Here's our next toss. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Cinco dos. All right. Hey, look at that. I got out of the hand. I made $28. Yes, I would have liked to have made more, but I got out of the hand with a slight little profit. Not what I would like to see, but I'm not upset by it because I did get a nice good hit and was able to take those profits and then move on to a regressed line. All right, so let's get set up. I'm gonna go like that, like that. Dice are moving, dice are out. We're going to work to come out with a 3-5-3-1 dice set. Here comes our next toss. A 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Oh, that's a big roll for us. So I'm moving down. That just netted me 295. I had hundreds on each of them. So now that I've got that, I'm going to go quarters on my 4 numbers. Yep, there we go. I'm set. All right, let's get the dice. It's nice hitting one of those 4 numbers I need to start off and be able to regress. Ah, that feels good. That's confidence right there that I was able to hit that. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next toss. I would not be upset if we buckshot it. Or we could just go 3, 4 and be done. Well, I made money. I made $140. Gosh, dang it. What do you guys do in this particular situation if you're on a crapless table and you're noticing kind of choppy work and getting a couple rolls and then stop? Because I've actually had this happen at casino before where I was playing and it just it would get a lot of false starts. It would start to move and then all of a sudden just bloop, 7 would come out. Uh, Nobody had any really long runs. I mean, the longest roll I've had so far is 14. And other than that, I don't think I broke double digits. Let me double check here. Check my rolls. Let's see. 15, 3, 7, 9, 4, 2, 10, and a 2. Okay, so I did break double digits, one other one. But yeah, I try to ride the wave, but at the same time, it's like, how do you get it to work for you even on when it's choppy like that? And I think the only way you can really do that is if you're hopping the 7 a lot. And me personally, I don't want to do that. So we'll just stick with my typical setup. All right. We're going to work to come out with a 3531 and see if we can't hit either a 368 or a yo. All right, here is our toss. We get a 639. All right. No odds on it because it is a 9, but we'll welcome it nonetheless. There's our 6-3. Just going to take the dice. We're going to chuck them down and throw again. I'll give you guys a second to get your bets on the table. I'll take a quick sip here of my Milo's tea. All right, here we go. Dice are moving, dice are out. You're more than welcome to join us on the Crapsy app. The code for Crapsy is Q7Y3X7. All right, here we go. 3531. Here's our next toss. We get a 459. Okay, look at that. Sneaky little cheeky action on that 9. Buck shot it. Made a quarter. Take it. There's our 549. So we'll have another come out. I'm not going to work this come out. I'm just going to run the pass line. So dice are moving. Dice are moving out. I'm going to go with a 6262 on this dice set. Here's our come out roll. We get a 415. All right, so 5s and 9s are coming out this roll. We'll take a 5. Take our dice. There's our 4-1. And let's slide down and see if we can't. I don't want a buckshot at this time. I want to hit some points. Make a little money here. All right, dice are moving. Dice are out. 3531. Here's our next toss. Cinco dos. Wow. We can't catch a break at all. All right, so I'm going to put it out to you guys. What do you do in this situation? If you got a choppy crapless table, I mean, pretty much after the first 3 or 4 rolls, if I notice that it's going real bad, real choppy, I'd probably just walk off of the table. Not much you can do in that particular situation. It's just a cold table. It's going to happen. You can try to work through it, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 5, 6, 8 with a quarter on the pass, not working to come out. We're just going to do a little iron cross. 3, 5, 3, 1, because I definitely want to hit those. Here comes our toss. Hey, that's a frontline winner. 3, 4, 7. We'll take it. I'm not playing bonuses, so it doesn't really affect me. We'll just go ahead and shoot again. Stay with that 3, 5, 3, 1. Come on now, dice. Dice do what they're going to do, but I want to influence them to give me some good and favorable matchups. That's a 6, 3, 9. And we got a point. All right, so let's put, there we go, a little field bet and go a full-on iron cross. So I'll take a 5, 6, 8, 9, doesn't matter. Dice are moving, dice are out. See if we can't get some numbers here. Here is our toss. A 5, 6, yo. Okay. That pays on the field. We'll take 15. Mark our yo here. There's the yo. And we'll slide down and go again. Yeah, I literally am just gonna play 568 yo or 568 field just to try to get some money back in the bankroll or in the rack, I guess I should say. All right, dice are moving, dice are out. I'm gonna set back up for a 3515. And here is our next toss. That's a 549. We will take it. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I have now made 65, 70, $80. So I'm going to put a quarter on the 9 and I'm going to put a quarter on the 4. Turn my bets off. I've got 15, or excuse me, 25 on the pass. Let's grab our dice. Let's throw them again. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Going with a 6-2-6-2 on the come out. Here is our next toss. That's a 415. All right, so we got our point. Just slide down and do it again. Give you guys a second to get your bets in. All right, here we go. 3-5-3-1. The point is 5. I've got quarters 4 through 9 currently, and of course it's 30 on the 6 and 8. Here comes our next toss. That's a 6-2-8. That works. We'll take it. All right, so that pays us 35. I'm going to add a quarter to my 10. That works for me. Let me show off these dice. Oh, let me mark the 8 as well. We got a 6-2. Perfect. Take our dice. Let's throw again. Come on, numbers. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Here's our next toss. We get. Come on. Come on. 6-4-10. How about that? Added that 10 just in time. All right. So I'm going to put a quarter on the yo and a quarter on the 3. And that's where I'm going to stop expanding until I can get some more buildup. There's my 6-4. So you guys at home can see. Man, that was a nice addition. Just at the right time, too. All right. Let me grab these dice. Let's go down and throw again. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. Dice moving. Dice are out. 3-5-3-1. Here we go. Hard 10. Awesome. All right. So now I will just add. I'm just going to add a quarter to the 10. So I'm going to make it 50. All right. Dice moving. Come on. Let's get this. 3-5-3-1. Here comes our next toss. 3-5-8. Okay, we're making some progress. Pretty throw. So I'm going to go ahead and make my 860. So I'll leave that there. Let's show off those pretty dice. 3-5-8. Yeah. Yeah. I'll take that. Slide them down. Oh, that one looked really good on the throw as well. All right, dice are moving. Dice are out. 3-5-3-1. Finally got a roll going. Let's keep it rolling. Here's our next toss. That's a 6, 4, 10. Awesome. We had 50 on that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add 50 more onto it. Make it 100. Nice. Slide the dice down. All right. Dice are moving. Dice are out. 351, or excuse me, 3531. Here's our next toss. That's a 628. Wow. All right. We're getting some numbers now. I had 60 on it. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump it up to 90. Leave it right there. Nice. There's our 6-2. I'll give you guys a second to get your bets in. I'll take the dice and slide them down real quick for myself. Grab a drink. Oh, I like it when it starts to finally click. Makes it a lot easier. Okay. All right. Dice are moving. Dice are out. We're looking for a point of 5. 3531. Here comes our toss. And that is all she wrote for this roll. Cinco dos adios. All right, I've got 213 left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more roll. I'm going to put all of it right on the field. We'll do a silly bet. We'll see if we can't get that back. This has been kind of a rough session. But I tell you what, if you guys come across a situation like this at the craps table or even the crapless table, whichever it is, and you find that it's getting real choppy on you and it's not getting any kind of a continuance roll or longer rolls or hell, struggling to even get to 5, I would just hop off. All right, so I'm going to go, let's go with 3515. We're doing a come out roll. I've got the remaining amount of my bankroll sitting on the field. Here's our toss. 538. Of course, that's how it works. Okay, so I've got a big fat zero. I'm all out for 1500. But I tell you what, I hope you guys had a lot of fun here tonight. Couple points of note. I will not be having any videos coming out this week. I am going to do coffee and craps on Sunday morning. I'm kind of using this holiday season to kind of relax a little bit, have a little bit of time to myself. Truly appreciate you guys coming and checking out the stream here tonight. I might try to squeeze in a stream tomorrow night. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Just be on the lookout for it. If I'm going to get it, I will try to get a notification sent up about an hour before it starts. If you haven't joined my Discord community, highly recommend doing so. It's in the description of this video. That's where all my news and everything of plans and thumbnails and designs and talking with you guys can all be had right on Discord. Thank you guys very much for enjoying this. I hope you did. Leave me a like. If you enjoyed this content, please consider giving me a subscribe and hit that bell notification. You'll know when I'll be on next time. You guys have a fantastic night. We will see you next time.